Look at the date on your screen right now. How is it almost July already? Seriously, wasn't New Year's just a few weeks ago? Think of a baby you remember being born. Suddenly, they're walking around holding a set of car keys. The timeline stops making sense. You step out of your car after a commute you don't even remember, and a month from earlier this spring has already completely dissolved. The terrifying part is that the time disappeared while you were right there, living through it. You went to work, you hung out with friends, you did the chores. Yet, when you turn around to look for those months, there is only a blank space. And the strange part isn't that it happened, it's that your brain did it, on purpose. Think about how differently you experience a boring month at work versus a single week away. When you are trapped in that repetitive shift, the hours drag on painfully slow. But try to find that entire month 6 months later, and it has completely vanished from your mind. On the flip side, think about a vacation. While you're living it, the days fly by. The slow morning coffee on an unfamiliar balcony, the sound of strange traffic outside, the specific warmth of afternoon sun on skin you didn't have to shield with a laptop screen, and the feeling of walking through a city where you don't know the rules. In the moment, it's over before it even begins. Yet, the moment you unpack your bags and look back, that single week stretches out in your memory like an entire season. You can still walk through it room by room, a year later. The boring times feel endless while they happen, but disappear when they're over. The exciting times fly by while they happen, but expand when we look back. Your mind doesn't keep time like a clock. It tracks your life in bookmarks. Think back to when you were young. You can probably still picture the exact layout of a classroom you haven't stepped into for 15 years. An unplanned afternoon where you completely lost track of the sun. Or the specific smell of a childhood friend's house. The one you visited so often, your brain stopped registering it. Until you caught a trace of it somewhere years later. And for 1 second, you were completely back there. Time didn't feel like something running out back then. It felt like something you were standing inside of. A single summer break stretched out in front of you like a country you hadn't explored yet. You could spend an entire afternoon doing nothing in particular and still feel like the day had more room in it. Childhood felt boundless simply because almost everything was a monumental first. Your mind was operating on high alert, writing down every detail, opening a brand new mental folder for almost every single day. But eventually, you run out of firsts. Your brain stops trying to learn the world and starts trying to predict it. Then, adulthood happens, and the timeline begins to compress. It happens gradually enough that you don't notice it at the time. The new apartment stops being new after about a month. The job that felt unfamiliar starts running on autopilot sometime around week 6. And the city you move to with a suitcase and a sense of possibility becomes, eventually, just the place where you live. Think about your current daily loop. The same glass mug every morning, the same route to work, the same takeout order on a Thursday night. The days completely blend into each other. You stop remembering whether a conversation happened yesterday or 3 months ago. One Tuesday just becomes every Tuesday. The moment your mind can predict exactly how a day will go before it even starts, it enters an automatic energy-saving mode. It takes a massive amount of physical fuel to record a new memory. So to save power, your brain treats your daily routine like junk data. It actively deletes it in real time. Your mind doesn't store 500 identical Tuesdays. It just copies and pastes one single day, squeezes 3 whole years of routine into one tiny, indistinguishable block, and throws the rest away. You aren't just forgetting your routine. Your mind is actively erasing it while you're living it. A highly predictable life is a dangerously short one. And most of us are living exactly that life, right now, without realizing what we're spending. And yet, we build these routines for a reason. There's a deep, quiet comfort in predictability. We want the same glass mug in the morning. We want to know exactly what's waiting for us at the end of the drive home. Safety is built on repetition, and peace of mind requires a certain amount of order. It's genuinely good to know where things are without having to look, or to feel the specific comfort of a familiar ceiling when you first open your eyes. Routine isn't a failure of imagination, it's the infrastructure that holds your life together. You couldn't function without it. And some people, if they're honest, don't actually want more memorable days. They want to get to the end of the week, feel safe, and not be surprised. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's worth knowing that the brain keeps score differently than we do. We trade away our memory of the days in exchange for the comfort of knowing what tomorrow looks like. It feels like a fair trade while it's happening. It only feels like a tragedy when you look at the calendar and realize how much you've actually paid. But you can start renegotiating that trade without changing your entire life. Look at the room you're sitting in right now. Find one small detail you've walked past 100 times but never truly looked at. Choose a slightly different route home tomorrow, just to see a street you don't recognize. Or tonight, just sit in your parked car for 2 extra minutes after you pull into the driveway, listening to the engine cool down in the quiet. You don't need to overhaul your life to change this. You just have to give your mind something it didn't see coming, so it's forced to drop a bookmark. One day, even this ordinary Tuesday will be part of the year you're turning around to look for. The rest of it is going to pass either way. And soon, you'll be looking at the date on your screen again, and the baby will be in college, and it'll still feel like it was just a few weeks ago. The only question is whether those days leave behind another blank space or another memory. If you finally found the words for how you feel today, welcome. New reflections are shared every Sunday. Feel free to stay a while.